full disclaimer at the start, I am not a trained aromatherapist. I haven't done aromatherapy training. So let you know that from the beginning. I'm not prescribing, but what I am doing is sharing what I know about the Doterra essential oils. And what I'm talking about are blends. I don't create them. Doterra thankfully have put them together for us, but I do use them. And as an intuitive healer, I've been working for years with people, and I use the oils intuitively. I use them for physical complaints, but also more so, I would say, for emotional well-being, and I use them a lot in the healing, the essential soul healing work I do. So I would use them along with angelic core healing, Reiki healing, soul realignment, the other kind of more energy healing, psychic work that I do. I would use the oils in that as well. So let me tell you about the oils. Now, if you go to the shop, you'll see it under Body and Soul. You'll see it if you search under Doterra. But what I wanted to show you was the rollers. Now, let me give you a couple here. So this is what I mean when I say a roller. That's the Motivate one. I'm using Forgive Myself at the moment. So it literally is just a 10 ml bottle with a roller top. The nice thing about these is, actually I'll show you this, these are already ready-made, so with fractionated coconut oil, and they're dilute, so they're completely safe to use on your skin straight away, even if you have sensitive skins or if you want to use on kids. If you want a patch test, of course, do. But that's why I like the rollers. They're really easy. They're also for the handbag and everything. You can just pop them on anytime you like. Now what I'm going to do with this, because I've used my roller, or I'm almost out, I've got myself a little neat bottle. This is a 5 ml, so there's about 84 drops in this. And what I'm going to do is I can pop off the roller, and I'm going to make up another one. So just a little tip really for you. So that was kind of like a sideline, but what the 6 blends in this kit, and it covers the core things, the core feelings that we experience, and they have used the different oils and the blends that will evoke a certain mood change, and whether that's a balancing or a complete shift. It can dull things down, like decompress, or it can also amplify, but it very much depends on the oils that you're using. So for example, I have Console. Okay, so that's Console is one of the 6 I'm talking about. And let me just tell you what's in Console. Here we go. So in Console, we've got frankincense, patchouli, ylang ylang, sandalwood, and rose. Beautiful, all beautiful oils. Anything with frankincense is just so special. Ylang ylang, very feminine. Sandalwood, very grounding. The rose is for the heart. Console, obviously, is when you're dealing with grief. It's to encourage hope and to give comfort. And grief is an interesting emotion, because grief, obviously, when somebody passes, you can also have grief at the loss of a relationship. You can have grief for the loss of something expected, the loss of something that never happened. So if you had hopes for the future, or dreams, or things you were planning and they're not happening, you can actually grieve the loss of that thing, because if it's something you really, really wanted, you would have kind of built an energetic attachment to it. And Console is good for that too. But even if you look at it from the way the world is at the moment, you know, it would be the future that you thought was going to happen. Getting over the pandemic, because that was traumatic for a lot of people. So sometimes we would use oils, or one would use oils to help, you know, work our way through these things. There's a wonderful book. Let me just see if there's anybody here at the moment. There's a wonderful book that I use, and I'll just share it with you. This one here, Emotions and Essential Oils. It's a lovely, lovely book, and I think there's actually a newer edition out now. And to be honest, I just think it's brilliant, and I use it as a reference. But it's got all the different oils in it and blends that Doterra use. But let me give you an example of Forgive. So, say the Forgive one that I've been working on, and what you can do with Forgive is just if you pop it on your heart space or on the back of your neck for the nervous system. You can pop it maybe on your wrists. I don't use perfume products anymore. I just use oils, and everybody notices them. No matter what ones I put on or my own blends, everybody notices. But say the Forgive one, say if you're working on forgiveness, the negative emotions, obviously being unforgiving, but also being critical or judgmental, resentful, cynical, bitter, blaming, anger. So they're all very cranky emotions. But the thing is, with forgiveness, it's that emotional attachment that you have to something. So it's a little bit like console. It's an interesting. So would you use console or forgive? And that very much depends on you. Okay, because they do different things. It's a different emotion, but there are some crossovers. The positive, obviously, so the positive properties of using the forgiveness will be feeling more light, more free, loving, understanding, tolerant. Yeah, and forgive over the heart space, it says, on the neck and behind the ears as well. That's a good one. And then, let me see, I'll just quickly do the console one for you, just so you can see the difference between the two. And so, Forgive, by the way, is spruce, black spruce, bergamot, juniper berry, myrrh, arborvitae, thyme, and citronella. And let me just get the console, yes. So the negative would there be grieving, loss, trauma, anxious, restless, unsettled, emotional pain or burdened. And the positive properties will be to feel more comforted, more content, restful, whole, serene, and for healing as well. And over the heart, behind the ears and the wrists. Now, so do you see the difference? So you don't, even if you don't recognize your emotion as grief, you could use console if you want to feel more content or more whole as a person. Because grief, an element of grief is the loss, and you can have a loss of self. So that's where you would bring in something like the console, okay? Whereas forgiveness, they're different words. So feeling free, loving, understanding, and that could be self-love. You don't have to be related to another person. You don't have to use forgiveness. You could be using forgiveness on yourself, because perhaps you're just being a little bit unkind to yourself, a little bit judgmental, a little bit critical of yourself, and if your self-worth is kind of low, if your inner child needs a little bit of nurturing, if you have, say, suffered abuse or some sort of trauma in the past, it's not just the other person, it's you. It's absolutely all about you, and that's where we start. So that's why I wanted to talk to you about, I know we can go quite deep on these things, but I wanted to talk to you about the oils, because that little pack, if you popped, actually I should really pop it in the comments here for you so you can see what I'm talking about. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Bear with me. This kit is a lovely kit, and when you buy it as a kit, where am I gone now? Hang on a second. It is, there we go. When you buy it as a kit, it's actually better value than buying them individually. Yeah, pop that in there, and you can see. So it's actually better value to do it that way. And you've got them all. And then you can choose. And you see, the thing is, your emotions change. Gosh, you could have all of them during the same day, same morning. Sometimes we just need this support. And it's an awful lot healthier than going down, say, a medication route, or perhaps using or abusing other things, say, even if it's sugar, caffeine, alcohol, lack of sleep, overstimulation. Say if you're looking for something outside of yourself, just spending too much time on your phone, watching telly, all the different things. It's all that stimulation that sometimes we need to just step back and think about what we want. And I don't know if you saw my email this morning. I was kind of saying that it's the time that you step back and think, okay, what do I want to experience? What do I want out of life? Where do I want to be, say, by the end of the year? What do you want to be doing? And focus on that, and treat yourself well, and support and nurture yourself, because only you know exactly where you need to go with this. And I think this is a lovely start. The aroma, that's why it's there, the aromatherapy kit. And even if you use it from, I was thinking even with the console, I know a lot of people, including myself, are perimenopausal as well. So console would work in respect to if you're grieving the loss of that time of your life, because we're moving on into a different phase. When you're menopausal, it is a very different body from the one we used to have. So there is that adjustment that's needed. So that I would consider emotional support. Or even the peace. There's a beautiful one, peace. Do I have it here? I don't think I have it here. And the peace one is beautiful. It's the blue one, and it's called the Reassuring Blend. Really, really nice. And it promotes feelings of peace, reassurance, contentment. And there's ylang ylang in that, which is a very feminine one. And vetiver, which is very grounding. It's a deep-rooted one. There's a couple of nice things you can do with vetiver. Marjoram, clary sage is particularly good with your hormone balance, and spearmint. Spearmint is actually excellent for communication. You'd use it for your neck, your throat chakras, expressing yourself. So, I would say definitely, if part of your intention from now till Christmas is to become more whole, content, balanced, more you, in the body that you have, the essential aromatics kit, the emotional kit is what you need. It's simple, it's easy, and you know what? You just tune into it. Open them all up when you get them, and just inhale. You just take a moment, tune in. Now, I was using Whisper. It's another blend. It's not in the kit, but I was using this blend, see, for ages. You can see it's all battered because I was using. They last for ages as well. Very flowering, very feminine. It's a beautiful one. And I couldn't go anywhere without that for a long time. And now I find I go, no, I don't want that. And I'm putting it away, and I might take out that console will be slightly like it, but now I'm going for forgive at the moment. So intuitively, I'm moving through the different ones that I have. Balance was actually the first one I started with. And again, see how battered that is? That goes in my handbag. You intuitively know, if you give yourself a moment, when you get the 6, open them up, have a moment with each one, the aroma, and you'll know exactly which one you need. And people will love it. Now, where you put it on the back of the neck. You can put it on the sides here, just around the ears, the wrists. This little one here is cool. You can put it inside your arms, anywhere there actually. The reason you use those points, because they're a mixture. When I apply them, you use a mixture of your meridians, like Chinese medicine meridians, and also the acupressure points, and chakras. So when I be doing, say, energy work, we might say put something on the solar plexus. Now, I just noticed with me the last couple of days, I'm definitely shifting something. because I'm really hesitant to put anything on my solar plexus, which is your emotional, how you experience life. Really don't want to go near that at all. It's very, very sensitive. Even when my hands are here, I can just feel it. So I'm definitely shifting something with the oils I'm using. So I'm kind of approaching it from a different space now, and using the different meridians. But we can go into them in another day, you know. It's more something that I would do more so in the Essential Soul Healing group that I have, and that's obviously a healing group, and I'll talk about that maybe another day. But we use the oils for the distance healing, but I do educate and give a lot of education and instruction with oils, so that, and protocols, so that the people within the group, the girls, can go off and use the oils in between the sessions, and it helps make things happen, a bit like what I'm talking about here, but we do it more structured and much more fine-tuned. It's like, for example, now next Monday, I hope it's Monday that I'm actually going to teach in the Essential Soul Healing group. I'm going to teach a session on how to use a particular oil to help deal with, heal, and let go of attachment to any sort of violation, physical violation, non-consensual abuse, basically, of physical, emotional, mental abuse, sexual abuse. So that's going to be deep, but it'll be great. And that is the training that I'm doing on Monday within the Essential Soul Healing group. And what we're doing is, if we do it on Monday, the idea is that we work through the week, and then the full moon is on Saturday, and I'll do a healing and a cleansing for everybody on the Saturday. And that kind of, you can just put an awful lot of stuff behind you, and then we're moving on again. So I'll definitely talk about that again, because I don't believe there's actually a person on this earth, certainly not a woman, but probably most men as well, that haven't suffered some sort of non-consensual violation, trauma, or abuse. You know. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be your own particular experience. It could be within a family, it can be generational, it can be as in ancestral, and it can be within the collective consciousness as well. And again, that's another day's work. So guys, let me just have a little peep here for you. I just want to make sure I haven't missed anybody. I don't always see the comments particularly clearly here. No, I'm good. Grant. Lovely. So, quick version of this. Right, so it's the Emotional Aromatherapy Kit, or the Essential Aromatics Kit, it's also called. It's changed its name recently. There are 6 blends, pre-diluted in a roller, that are absolutely beautiful. And what you do is you get them all in one kit, and you open them up, test each one, and then you decide which one you're going to wear, or which one you're going to work with, what you're going to put in your body, and where and why. And what it does is, as you inhale it, it goes straight into the system. It clears your energy, but also into your blood system. It triggers the limbic system, and within 2 minutes it's in your blood. Okay, so it's highly potent. These are certified therapeutic grade, so it's actually a therapy in itself. So excellent quality, excellent purity, and they're ready to use. That's why I like the rollers. They're safe because they're diluted and they're ready to use. You can put that in your handbag. I actually have the Forgive, and I actually have Rose. That's a beautiful one as well. That's not in the kit, but I have a lot of oils, as you can see. So Forgive, and sometimes Rose as well at night. And I might just say Balance in the morning, Console, whatever I feel I need, Motivate. And the Passion actually is a good one as well. The Passion is really you could be passion for life. It could be when you're worn out and fed up in the job you have, but you have to stay in it. it would kind of reignite that passion that you have. And you know, that actual blend reminds me of a card in a deck, an angel card deck that I have, and I'll pull it out, but that's the card that I associate with that blend of oil. So do you know what I mean? Like all these things lend it, you know, complement each other. Okay guys, I can't see any comments, so I'm going to shoot. I'm going to head on. I just wanted to touch base with you and talk about these oils because I haven't spoken about them before properly, and I just wanted to say that to you. So yes, the 6 oils are there. Let me know if anybody wants to learn more about them. Let me know if you want to know more about the that training I'm doing next Monday, the Essential Soul Healing training I'm doing on Monday evening, if anybody's interested. As I say, it's a toughie but a good one, you know, and that's where I go with things when I do healing, but we do it all very nicely. I don't do drama, I don't do trauma. We just deal with things and we move on. Okay guys, I'm going to leave it at that. Have a nice evening and I shall talk to you soon. Okie doke. Bye bye.